Hey Doodlers, how you doing? I'm getting ready to go off to Germany. I'm going to do some illustration work over there. I've never been to Germany before, but I'm going to use the opportunity because I've got a lot of time hanging around airports, doing some drawing, doing a few more tutorials, so I'm just packing a few things. This isn't my teddy, by the way, I promise not. I'll take it with me just in case. Hey Doodlers, how you doing? I'm in Berlin. It's quite a cold, rainy day. I've also got a bit of a cold, which is why I sound a bit sniffly. I do apologise for that. Yeah, it's really lovely here. I'm really enjoying it. I've got a bit of time this afternoon, so I'm going to do some more illustration tutorials for you. So yeah, let's get on with it. So I'm back in the hotel now. I've just seen another French bulldog. There is clearly a lot of French bulldogs around. I think it's Hubbington's German cousin. And his owner, have you ever noticed that sometimes the dogs look like their owner? So there was this French bulldog and there's this guy who looked exactly like him. So I'm going to draw those two. And what I'm going to do is use the same shape, use the same rectangle, not only to draw the dog, but also to draw the guy as well. So let's start off with the dog. We've hopefully by now pretty well used to drawing French bulldogs. Starting off with a really simple rectangle, using the pencil quite light again. Let's get a bit of those detail going. Get the eyes, get the sad eyes, get those big ears, massive rabbit ears. Yeah, we can do that quite rough, and then we can start to do the man. And then when we're kind of happy with both, then we can start to add the detail. So I'm taking this rectangle and I'm just drawing a line across it to kind of be the top half, can be his head. Again, I'm going to do kind of like similar eyes because he looked exactly like him. So sad eyes, that kind of slightly grumpy looking mouth. His ears weren't quite as big as Hub's, or a French bulldog I should say, but he had a great hat. He just looked like a cartoon character, so I couldn't wait to get back and draw him. So I'm taking that bottom half of the rectangle, adding a few lines, and that's kind of going to become his overcoat. And draw the hands. We're just not going to worry too much about the hands, just a bit of a kind of squiggle. I'll come back to hands in another sort of little tutorial, but at the minute it's just a bit of a scribble. Don't get too bogged down with the detail, it's fine. Let's make some of these lines a little heavier. Got a little upturned mouth, the same as this dog. And do the eyes, and they're going to be looking at each other. It's a bit of a, whenever you're doing some drawing and you're drawing between two characters, to have them looking at each other, suddenly it sort of draws you in. It makes it look like the drawings are interacting with themselves. Adding some lines, just to make it stand out on the page. Let's do that in the hat. Let's do a few little stubbles. He was a bit beardy. There were two guys waiting. The dog was waiting for a bus, I think, with the guy, and they were just sort of both sat there, kind of looking at each other. Let's finish off the coat. This is one of the great things, one of the reasons why I always carry a sketchbook or my iPad around with me. So if I do see anything and it just makes me want to draw, then I can get on and do some drawing. Because we've all got 5 minutes to spare, haven't we, where we can sort of stop what we're doing and just have a bit of a doodle. Oops. Let's get rid of that with my rubber. There we go. Just make these lines a little bit thicker so you can see them on the video. Okay, so I'm quite happy with how he's looking. He's got the lead. Put the shadow underneath, remember, make him stand out. You start to concentrate on the Hubbington's German cousin. Again, we're not going to kind of worry too much about the detail. It's just a bit of a little cartoon that we're drawing. So we're not worrying about whether it's neat, whether the lines are exact. Because sometimes when you're trying to do everything exactly and precisely, it just looks a little bit lifeless. Whereas if you're a bit loose with the pencil and you're being a bit kind of sketchy and not worrying about the detail too much, it can look a lot better. A few little bits of fur. The shadow underneath. Then we can get the eraser, rub out any little things that we don't need, any little extra lines that we don't want. Let's finish off his nose. There we go. Let's rub a few of these little lines out. Again, using the side of the pencil to get a bit of a shadow down his left hand side. Again, it just makes it stand out on the page a little bit more. It's always a good idea to kind of zoom out on your drawings, whether you're using an iPad or whether you're using a piece of paper. Just kind of stand back from it so you get a bit of a bird's eye view. It can start to can really help you kind of think, oh, that needs changing, that needs tweaking. But there we go. We've taken two rectangles. We've turned one into a French Bulldog. Hopefully you're pretty good at that by now. We've turned another into its owner. So maybe you can try that. Maybe rather than just doing dogs and animals, you can take some of those rectangles and turn them into people, turn them into characters. I'm going to be back soon with more videos, but in the meantime, happy doodling, and I shall see you again soon.